Guys, it's Hook here. Today we're going to be covering how to play Dragon Age Inquisition on the PS3 in the year 2026 and beyond. Playing this game on the PS3 does come with its own set of challenges, and in this video we'll be covering a set of solutions for most of those, including how to get the DLCs or even find the DLCs depending on which store you're on. And we'll be covering some problems and crashes that can occur in the game and how to fix or mitigate those during your playthrough. If that sounds interesting, then stick around. Alright, well first up, the base game and the DLCs are available on the worldwide PSN stores. If you have the base game on disc form, then obviously you'll just need to buy the DLCs from the store region that matches your disc region. And the game is platinable and 100%able. This despite the fact that the PS3 servers were shut down for this game in 2026, but luckily those servers supported a set of functionality that are not required for any trophies. And for this game, the DLCs are cross-buy between PS3 and PS4. This means if you buy it on one platform, you'll have it available on the other platform without needing an additional purchase. As mentioned earlier, the base game and DLCs are available on the worldwide PSN stores, but the situation is different depending on which regional store you're in, so let's cover some of that. Here we are on the Hong Kong PSN store, and as you can see, we can purchase the base game digitally if we want to, and the store lists 5 DLCs we can optionally get. 2 of the 5 DLCs are multiplayer related. We won't be needing those for any trophies. In fact, they no longer work anymore. And you'll need the Jaws of Harkon DLC for the DLC trophies. While not required, the free Black Emporium DLC is probably something you'll want and makes your playthrough a lot easier with extra shops, merchants, schematics and whatnot. And then the last DLC is weapons and armor, that sort of thing if you want those. Do note that the Descent DLC and the Trespasser DLC are not available on the PS3. These DLCs and their associated trophies were only ever released on the PS4 version. So on the Hong Kong store at least, all pretty standard stuff. You can buy the base game, you can buy the DLCs and download them, all good. Situation's not quite the same for the USA and UK stores though, let's cover that. On most of the other stores we can find the same edition of the game, and we can still purchase it digitally, but you'll notice there are no DLCs available. So maybe this edition has the DLCs included, right? Well, no, it doesn't, unfortunately. It has some DLCs included, but not the ones we want or need for the trophies. Well, fear not, those DLCs are still available, they're just in the wrong place. Let's go have a look. We're going to back out and we're going to go look at Dragon Age 2, believe it or not. And then as you can see for both the UK and USA stores, 2 of those 5 DLCs for Dragon Age Inquisition are listed under the Dragon Age 2 section, but that free Black Emporium DLC is still missing in action, but we'll cover how to get that one after you've installed the game. And then the third final wrinkle is how to find the DLCs if you purchase them on the PS4 first. So again, we're going to go look at the edition of the game, this time on the USA store, and again there's no DLCs here for me to download, even though I already own them because I purchased them on the PS4. And they're not even listed in the Dragon Age 2 section for me to download from there either. So let's get this sorted out. So first things first, for that free Black Emporium DLC, after you have the game installed, you're going to come into the store and you're going to go down to the free section of the store, then select add-ons, and then you're going to scroll down and find that Black Emporium, which is going to be sitting in this free section for you to download. And incidentally, you can see there's also those 2 multiplayer DLCs listed above it. Again, we don't need those, but just interesting they're listed here as well. And then for that Jaws of Harkon paid DLC, and possibly the Weapons and Armor DLC, you're going to head over to the View Download section of the store, which will show you everything you own and can download the DLCs you need from here. So in summary, you can get everything you need DLC-wise for this game, but depending on which store region you're in and whether you've previously purchased the DLCs on PS4 or not, you may need to do a little bit of hunting and pecking around the store to find those DLCs. Alright, as we said earlier, playing this game on the PS3 does come with its own set of challenges, but they're not insurmountable. You've just got to be prepared for it and expect it. In fact, the best way to think about this is instead of just the normal 4 sets of difficulty that the game ships with, playing it on the PS3 adds PS3 Nightmare difficulty. And just like any other difficulty level in any other game, we just use a certain set of techniques to make that workable. If it adds this difficulty, why don't we just play this on a different platform? I don't know, I think the game's fun and I like a challenge, so really we persevere with these things.
Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
So let's cover what these issues are and how to work around them. First up is hair rendering, believe it or not. Probably be pretty minor for many of you, but for me, it really annoyed me. For some hairstyles and hair colors, the reflections are ridiculous. And in some situations, in-game, walking around the world, the reflections coming off your character's head are often the brightest thing on the screen. So the solution is to either have your helmet on all the time, or careful selection of hair color that mitigates that reflection issue. So as you can see here, while black hair had a terrible reflection, dark brown hair does not. So if you don't want your helmet on in-game, pick a hairstyle and a hair color that mitigates that reflection issue and save your eyeballs some pain. So next up is just general stability and crashes. These issues are pretty widely reported on the forums and internet, but I do have to say that during my 60 odd hours or so with the PS3 version so far, I've had absolutely zero crashes in-game, in-world, walking around a map, that sort of thing. For me, the crashes and console freezes that did occur when I'm fast traveling between map regions in-game. So, for example, if we're going to fast travel from Skyhold to Black Emporium, you're going to get a loading screen, and on the PS3, this could be a minute or so, with this little flashy doohickey down the bottom right. And in my particular case, if I was on a black loading screen for more than, say, 30 seconds, almost certainly the game has crashed. And amazingly enough, frozen the console with it. So the mitigation here is just to be safe, make a save before you fast travel and let that save complete, and only then do the fast travel. And while we're on the subject, it is good practice to always wait for that save to complete, whether it's a manual save or an autosave. If you see this circle on the bottom right, it's saving, but you can still be doing stuff. You can be exploring the world or killing monsters. I typically don't. I just sit there and wait for that save to complete. It only takes a few seconds, but I think some of the issues that arise with this game are because the console's being pushed to its absolute limits. So let's just not add a whole bunch of stuff that the console needs to do while it's saving. There are also some settings I have set to, again, minimize the amount of work that the console needs to be doing to play this game. First one is I turn off persistent gore. I don't need it, and it's one less thing for the console to have to do. Then I'm going to go and turn off damage numbers received on my character. Again, I don't need it, so I might as well turn it off. I could also turn off damage numbers on enemies, but I quite like those, so I leave that one on. You could optionally turn off subtitles in the audio section. I leave them on, but you can turn them off if you like. And then finally, in the account settings, I turn all of this off. All of this is non-functional now anyway, that the servers have been shut down. So let's not have the game try and do extra work it doesn't need to do, and it's going to fail anyway. And the final area we can improve, I think, is load times. Some of them are pretty extreme as you move between areas in this game. In some cases, 90 seconds or more. So I went and got like a $20 SSD drive secondhand off eBay, and because science is cool, I measured the difference. And while the difference is not night and day, it is 25% faster with an SSD playing this game over a standard mechanical hard drive. To give you some real numbers there, so a 70-second load time became a 52-second load time, traveling between the same areas, but on an SSD versus a mechanical hard drive. I'm probably going to spend 100 or so hours in this game. So if I can avoid many, many hours of loading screens, 18 seconds at a time, then it's worth it. Maybe it's worth it for you too. So there you have it, guys. That's how you can play Dragon Age Inquisition on a PS3 in the year 2026 and beyond, find all the DLCs, and avoid the worst of the crashes and performance issues. Go have at it. It's a great game. Hope that helped, and I'll catch you in the next one.